Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we can discuss Beast. So this movie stars Idris Elba as a father who is trying to reconnect with his daughters via a trip to a game reserve in Africa. He and his wife separated. It's not too long after that, she ended up getting sick and passing away. His daughters have a lot of resentment toward him over that. Like, they feel like he wasn't there, and there is some blame placed on him, even though there was nothing he could do about it. So he's hoping that this trip will allow them to reconnect and kind of rebuild as a family moving forward. After all, you can just learn about Africa, see the beautiful, landscapes, all the incredible animals. There's just so much to do, and he's just hoping that it's like the perfect opportunity to kind of reconnect, and bond. Once they get there, the family infighting kind of makes everything on edge. His kids aren't really willing to commit to having a good time. They're just kind of like wanting to remind him about the mistakes that he's made. But whenever a rogue lion shows up, attitudes shift and priorities change, and that's the story of Beast. So Beast is pretty much Idris Elba versus a lion. I love that premise. I'm a huge fan of like when animals attack movies. This one, the lion in this actually doesn't look too bad for CGI of this time. It doesn't look super believable, but it's passable, which at this point is I'm willing to accept that. But it's basically like a buildup of like family drama, and then we segue into like a horror movie or like an intense thriller of Idris Elba and his family versus this lion. There are a lot of lion attacks in this. They do not scrimp on them. You have to go a piece before you really start to get into the lion story, but it's not too bad. And I do think it matters that they build up the family story because it's not just tacked on here. Like, it really unfolds even during the more tense moments of the movie. So I think the story here is good. I love the idea of a rogue lion being like the villain in this movie. I think they did a good job with the tension, with the suspense. Yes, you have to suspend disbelief at times when you're talking about, going hand to hand with a lion at times. But, it's intense, it's serious. Idris Elba's performance is okay. His character is kind of an odd one here. I don't know if it is his performance or how it was written, but there's just something that's a little bit off about his character. But in general, I thought he did fine. And again, I'm here for the lion attacks, and I think they're plentiful. They're interesting to watch. Again, you got to suspend your disbelief, but that's just part of watching a movie like this. In the end, I think it's a good movie. I had fun watching it. It held my interest. I was definitely engaged and invested in the movie. But, I'm biased because I'm a huge fan of like nature gone amok or, when animals attack movies. So I had a good time with Beast. And I also appreciated the fact that of seeing this kind of a concept played out in like a polished, well-funded movie, as opposed to like most of the When Animal Attacks movies are like B movies or they're on the Sci-Fi Channel or whatever. Like, it was cool to see like what they could do with a little bit of money and a little bit of polish. So in any case, I liked Beast. I give it a thumbs up. That's my review. If you want to check out more, I've got a ton of them here on YouTube. But thank you so much for watching this one, and hopefully I'll see you soon.